Hello and welcome to episode 15 of Battlefield 4 News. So the news has been pretty light recently, there's not been much going on, but we've now got a couple of updates from DICE on the forums. The first of these is that DICE has finally published what was in the R20 server update, and it was a fix to stop people applying the DICE camo and going invisible. So I imagine there was a bug with it that if a non-DICE employee managed to get this camo on, that they then glitched out and became invisible. Now people have called foul on this and said that if that's all that was in the R20 update, why did it cause so many problems? Well, I think the simple answer to that is that it wasn't R20, it was R19, because it was R19 that listed issues with Punkbuster. The second forum post from DICE concerns an update to Battlelog, and again there's a lot of changes here, so they've been doing some serious work on Battlelog recently. Firstly, we have a couple of announcements, the first one of which is that they're investigating an issue with Battlelog not always loading on the PlayStation 4, and they're also investigating an issue with chat messages disappearing on Battlelog.com, but you can refresh the page to make them reappear. Next we have some new features and improvements, the first of which is selecting expansion packs in the server browser will now apply to your search. Filters have never been very good, but it looks like they're getting them a bit better. They've improved how Chrome authorises the plugin. When the plugin updated, you had to refresh the page on Chrome and then it would authorise the plugin. You don't have to do that anymore, it will do it automatically. In loadouts, the Set Active Kit button is no longer shown to other people. I don't know if it actually worked for other people to set what your kit was, but it used to sit there on the screen anyway. Pistols, grenades and knives now have an Apply to All button, so that will put it on all your classes, and it will also do it for vehicle and weapon paints. They've started putting on items whether they require premium or expansion packs to unlock. So the L96A1 didn't used to tell people you had to have China Rising to unlock it, so people were trying to work out how they got it. Same with the MP7, I've been asked many times if you need China Rising to unlock it because it just doesn't tell you on the page. They've added the ability to hide images on the loadout, and this is a change they've made for tablets. Various minor tweaks to loadout, various minor improvements and tweaks. So the last items are always the bits that they can't be bothered telling you about because they're too unimportant. Now we move on to fixes to Battlelog. Fix an issue with suggestions which would cause new suggestions to randomly appear. I still have no idea what this suggestions thing is supposed to do. More tweaks and fixes to the custom region in the server browser filter. Now this was supposed to be fixed last time and it still didn't work, so hopefully it might work now. Fixed an issue with the airmail assignment, effectively replacing it with a new assignment. So it looks exactly the same to you, but in the background there is an entirely new assignment attached to airmail that gives exactly the same results as the original, but now works properly. Now I think this next one should say every character name rather than every, so they fixed an issue where every character name in Battle Report comments were named player and had the default avatar when using pagination. They fixed an issue with the dates for Battlefield 3 content so that it doesn't disappear randomly. Fixed an issue with loadout where the active slot wasn't displaying properly when viewed by other soldiers. Am I the only person who hates when they call players soldiers? Just call us players, please. They fixed an issue on loadout where your stats bars wouldn't change when you switch weapons, so they would still show the old stat bar for the old weapon. Fixed an issue where the paint on the QBS-09 and some other weapons in loadout would always reset to default. A simple guide for Battlelog is don't change your weapons around in loadout. Do it in game. It may take a few minutes at the start of a game, but don't mess around with them in loadout because it's never worked properly. Fixed an issue where the details bar on stats and unlocks pages would collide with the footer. So that's the bar on the right hand side, and if you picked a weapon that was at the bottom of the page it would overlap the footer. Various minor issues fixed that are too small to mention. So that's a lot of issues with Battlelog fixed over the last couple of updates, but the thing I really wish is that we had a decent server browser. The Battlelog server browser in Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 just doesn't work properly. It doesn't show you what servers are online properly, and it doesn't always show you what modes they're running or where they are. So I wish we didn't have so many sideline features like the Facebook add-ons and the weapon customizations options in Battlelog. Keep those in game and just give us a decent server browser. So that's it for this episode of Battlefield 4 news. Like I said at the start, the news recently has been rather thin. I think DICE are trying to work on the problems they caused with the R19 server update, so there's not much coming out of DICE. But if there's any news, I will keep you informed. Thanks for watching.